Hello, my homies. OneSmartCat doing some Spellslingers, and today I am going back to something that I haven't done in a while. So recently, I got a comment on one of my videos talking about some older decks that I have not messed with in a bit, and I just want to say I thoroughly enjoy going through my comments and talking to people about all the different stuff. So if you ever have a question or a comment or whatever, throw it in there. I love reading them. I love responding to them. So the subscriber in the comments section brought up this Kiora deck that I made, I don't know, 4 or 5 months ago. And I haven't thought about it in a while, and it's honestly really fun to play. So I call it Pick a Card. And essentially what it is, it's a lot of heavy drafting. And the point of it is to basically create the answer to any sort of situation that's happening on the field. Now you can do this a lot easier and like in a different way with like Teferi by just doing nothing but counters and all that stuff. But honestly, that shit's lame. It's lazy. It's unfun. Like, I honestly despise the Teferi decks, the way that they're made in this game. And this is a much more fun way to create answers and to have a good time. I've had so many times with this deck where I am down on like 3 life points and my opponent still has 20 something. And by this time, they don't have any more cards in hands. They already have their field established. And I'm able to come up with the right answers I need to stay alive and completely come back from the end of the game. Now, if that doesn't sound fun to you, then you're not going to like this deck. But I thoroughly enjoy it. Like, it is a thinking person's deck. You need to think to make this deck work. So we have Unsummon to start off. Unsummon is just to, you know, get some stuff off of their field, make them spend their mana over again on the next turn. Anything to get rid of a big problem. Anticipate lets you draft a card from your deck and you immediately get to draw it. It's only a 2 mana, so it's pretty good. Scepter is also only 2 mana. It's an artifact, so whenever you create it, it goes into the side of your field, and then you can use it to draft a spell that is 2 or less and add it to your hand. So as long as you have 4 energy or 4 mana whenever you do this, you can use it, activate it, and use whatever card that you draft. So it's a good way to come up with answers for different things. Reclamation is important in this deck because it lets you draft anything from your graveyard, and you get the base copy of it into your hand. So whenever you get to like mid or end game and you need one of these things that you've already used, Reclamation will let you bring it back, hopefully, because it doesn't let you search your entire graveyard, but you know, it gives you 3 choices. So hopefully you get something that will be useful bringing back. The Frill-neck is a great 2 mana card. Whenever it comes out, you get to draft an upgrade for it. Usually I look for shield, because having a 3/1 early on with shield is usually pretty helpful. But depending on the situation, you can make it fly, you can make it sneak. It depends on what upgrade you get, but still, it's fun. The Figment card is an amazing card in this deck because whenever you draft anything, and you'll pretty much be drafting every turn, it costs 0. So if you have 2 of these in your hand and you draft something, then you can put both of these down for free. So it's a good way to build up your board. Prankster comes in with sneak. So you know, right off the bat, you have a 3/2 sneak. It lets you draft a spell and add 2 copies of it to your deck. You don't always draw them again. So it's more of like an insurance policy. Whatever you think you might need later, if you need removal, if you need flying, if you need this, that, or the other, these get thrown back into your deck and maybe you'll draw them again. So it's not 100%, but it definitely does help. Oppressive Inspector is, it's a real underdog card. And what I mean by that is like nobody ever uses it because it's kind of hard to get use out of it unless you have a deck like this where all you're doing is drafting. So it's a 1/5, which is very important because the fact that it has 5 defense on it, it can sit on the field and it can stay alive. It can either take some hits and stay alive, or it can survive, you know, some blasts, some shocks, and some stuff. There's not anything that's really going to immediately kill it. So the fact that it has sneak and it can stay on the board, if you get one big round of drafting, you could get this up to 7 with sneak. It only lasts for the 1 round, so it's only going to be 1 big hit, but that could be enough to end the game, or at least get close to ending the game. The Elite Forest Guard is like the epitome of what this deck pretty much is. The fact that you put it down, it's a 3/2, which isn't great, but I mean, you can still use it for defense and everything. However, you get to do a full draft. Let me get my guy out of the way. You get to pick any one of these cards. So if they have an artifact you need to destroy, boom. If they have a flyer you need to destroy, boom. If you have one of your people that are pretty big and healthy, you need to bring them back to full health, you know, it's a wide variety of what you're able to do. So it's very nice, very nice. The Tideshaper helps us get empty mana gem, which is good. It's a little bit of ramp that lets us get closer to getting one of our Leviathans. Because, you know, remember that she's able to get Leviathans at 10, 15, and 20. So that's actually a big part of our winning condition. The Avenger is a 5/4 creature, so they're a decent size to help with attacking or defending. And it has trample, so it's a 5 attack with trample, which isn't bad. When it comes out, you get to draft a creature, and 2 copies go into the deck. Same thing as with the other one that's able to draft a spell that go into the deck. It takes a little bit of foresight to try to think of what you're going to need later on, because you don't get it immediately. You might not ever get it, but this is basically like calling an audible and being like, okay, well, I might need more flyers. I might need more, you know, whatever, to throw them into the deck and get them back later. Now, the Sphinx of Riddles is a flying 2/5, so it's a decent air defender whenever you're able to get it out. And this one, you can draft a trap and it actually goes immediately into your hand. So this is a good way to get an answer into your hand immediately, and depending on how much mana you have, you might be able to play it as well, because most traps are relatively cheap. The Fungal Beast can be a monster depending on what happens. So it's a 5 mana 5/5, so automatically it's a 5/5, which is pretty good. And whenever it comes out, you're able to draft an upgrade for it. And the upgrade can be a bunch of different things. It could be buffs, it can be sneak, it could be flying, it can be +1/+2, you know, which would make it like a 6/7. Once again, it fits with the whole theme of looking at what's presented to you and making the best choice that you're able to make. Master Possibilities has gotten me out of so many binds because of the fact that it gives you a spell that's 6 costs or less. So it's pretty much the entire gambit of spells that you're able to get. And it costs 0. So whenever you put this guy out, you get the card. It's a temporary card, so you have to use it that turn. But depending on what you get, it can completely change the entire situation of the game. So he is a very good, like, get out of jail free card, basically. Last but not least, we have the Survivor's Regalia. This one, when it's 6 mana to put it out, it becomes an artifact and you're able to use it twice, and it gives you a legendary creature. You get to draft the legendary creature, so you get to see 3 of them and pick which one best fits the situation. And that's honestly what this entire deck is. As my land card, I do have Refreshment Stand, which at the start of the game, it gives my opponent a card and it gives me a card. They're both multicolor cards. Gaining mana and getting to the Leviathan is relatively important for this deck. So any of the other land cards that take away my mana gem for the round, honestly, is like completely counterproductive to the way the deck works. So this way, we at least get something. Our opponent gets something too, but whatever. With the deck itself, you should be able to handle whatever they get. All right, now before we get to the matches, like, just reiterate again, you got to think with this deck. If you don't want to think, then this is not the deck that you want to use. If you're willing to think, and if you're willing to try to figure out what you need when it's best, then this deck is extremely fun to play. All right, let's jump into some matches.
Kiora versus Chandra.
All right, going against the Chandra first. She shouldn't be able to burn us out too quick. We do have some answers early, you know, with the cards that we have, but we have to see first. We're gonna keep the Figment because we want to be able to put that out whenever we draft something. Go ahead and put back the Inspector and the Riddle for now.
And she's in the lead.
Okay, this is huge. We're gonna have a huge first turn. Like, these are great cards. So we'll have the temporary mana gem or the breakable mana gem, which means on our turn we'll have 2 mana. We'll be able to put him out with the 2 mana. What do we get? Ooh, that's really good. We could put him out with the 2 mana. Draft something for him. Haste is good if we want to get in some damage early. But honestly, I think Relentless is going to be better. Because she's probably going to blow him up. And now that we drafted, I mean, we almost have a full board. Very nice, very nice. Getting these 2 at the beginning was huge.
I'll take the lead.
All right, she has a Vanguard out. We can't do anything about the Vanguard, but let's go ahead and put this on our little buddy over here. That'll make him a 4, and it will make him a target. We don't need our fish going. So we'll be able to draw cards, and she'll probably want to kill it, but it does have Relentless as well. So let's see what they do.
Advance.
All right, not a bad move. Put it on his shield, getting rid of one of my other 3 attack cards. It's pretty good. That was a pretty good move. All right, so he's gonna do +2 on one of these. They're taking a little bit of time between all their choices, so I'll probably have to edit all that out. Thank you, Brian, for making me work harder. All right, she has a bit more defenses on the board. Let's go ahead and swing. This does have Relentless, so if it dies, it's gonna come back, but it won't be able to block, which will be fine. We'll go ahead and take some trades here if she wants to trade.
Run!
1 trade. The other trade. And then we'll go ahead and put out our Tideshaper to push us closer to our Leviathan. And that gives us a blocker for her 1 attack card if she has it. They are taking a long time on their turns. All right, so that gave him a random red spell. It's either a spell or a trap that's able to do damage. So we have to make sure we know that that is a thing.
Gotta go.
We're gonna assume that that's the card that he got from his guy. He should have blown up this, that way I'm not gonna be able to block. I wouldn't have been able to block. I could have blocked with the fish, I guess, but I wouldn't have been able to kill. So a little bit of a misplay on his part. Let's go ahead and put out our beast, or we could put out our riddle. No, the beast is able to cover this. And it should be high enough that he can't just blow it up. Haste to attack now, +3 to make it stronger, armor to keep it alive. Let's go ahead, let's put some armor on it. All 3 of those were honestly pretty good choices, so we couldn't have gone wrong on any of them. Haste was probably the least, because we would have killed this because he probably would have blocked. All 3 of those were good choices, honestly. He has a 5 now, which is important to note. But we do have armor though, so that's good. So, ooh, I was gonna say we could armor against this, Let's see. That's a 1/5. This one's 3. All right, this is where the thinking comes in. This card would be a lot more useful if we were able to look in our graveyard. But looking in our graveyard is not allowed. Let's see who he blocks. I'm assuming this one. I'm kind of surprised he did that one. Okay, so this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna do this, and we're gonna take the nuzzle. That way we can heal him after next turn. And let's go ahead and put this down as well. We don't need to keep our fish alive. So, I mean, I will jump block with it if that's the best move.
Point me in the right direction.
Alright. So that's just a 4/4 then. He might have shock, which means if I block with this, he might just blow him up. But I'm gonna risk it.
Bullseye.
It burns.
Hopefully he doesn't blow him up. He might. Awesome, he didn't blow him up. So now we can get him back to full health. And then we can use this to draft. Let's do... Oh wow, we can hit the shit out of this guy. Too bad that applied already. That doesn't work. Never mind. That was a flub on me. I wanted to switch this guy so he had 5 and then draft him all the way up. But that doesn't work. So let's just do this. We'll draft him over here. And this. And we'll get another one of these. And then we drafted so we get to put out him. And then this is a 7 that's going to get right through because it has sneak. And that is exactly what you're supposed to do with this guy.
Well struck.
Very nice, very nice. So I can use this on him next turn to make his attack really big. But he doesn't have sneak anymore.
I'll go high.
Which, ooh, but this guy has sneak. Let's put him out.
It's all coming together.
And let's go ahead and swing, because I actually want one of these things to die. I'm gonna put out my Sphinx, that way I have something to block this. Brian's laying his turn right now because he wants me to do a whole bunch of editing on this goddamn match. It's alright, Brian, I get it. And now he's just letting me hit him. Okay, well, he didn't kill either one of my things, which I kind of wanted him to. So we're just gonna squash the we're just gonna squash the fish then. And then we'll take the it's alive just in case we need it later. Right, I think Brian's given up because we're getting back to the end of their turn again. So we'll edit out all that shit. That way y'all don't have to wait. I have to wait, but y'all don't have to wait. Well, let's just hit the shit out of him with this guy then. Since he wants to make us wait, at least we can get one good hit in. 11 sneakable. Very nice.
My solution.
Eat dirt, Landwalker. Okay, you win.
That was great. We were actually on the offensive that entire time. GG, Brian, even though you made me wait the entire game. Let's go to another one.
Kiora versus Nissa.
All right, going against the Nissa will be interesting. Nissa has been extremely strong for the last 4 or 5 months. None of these we need starting off. Try to get some other smaller stuff, or we can get that back. That's fine. Okay, yeah, we don't need anything low cost. It's okay.
I am not afraid to fight.
We got our fish.
What do
All we need is our fish. See what we get from the refreshment stand. That's actually pretty damn good. He comes out with haste and everything. That's not bad. I hit you with my fish. Take that. They also get a multicolor card. Hopefully it's not as good as ours. Hopefully it's not good at all. Most of the multicolor cards are really good though.
Feels like home.
All right, they are ramping, which means that this is probably one of the... Nissa has like 5 different combos, so we'll figure out which one that she's doing. Let's do the extract sample. And because we drafted, this comes out for free. This is such a great card. And let's do it with our fish, because fuck it.
You won't stand alone.
So the fact that she made this bigger. Oh no, now it's gonna die. Damn it. I wanted to extract sample it. Like I wanted it to stay alive, and then I would have been able to do this whole paladin thing too. But since she just said, since she did that, I'm not gonna be able to. So instead, let's go ahead and put this out.
It's all coming together.
We could get a nice little hit with this early on.
The wild has your back. I am not alone.
All right, what do we have? 4 mana. That's a 5/3. See what this gives us. After you get a mana gem that's not from your land, draw a card. I mean, I have a couple of things that can do that.
Here's my solution.
We get a 5 straight across. That drops back down to 1 because it's only for the single turn.
Strike them down.
Smited our lizard. And then chose not to do anything else off of that. Interesting. What do we have? 3, 4. Draw 2 cards. The next trap you arm this turn costs 2 less. We could get another Reclamation. Let's get another Reclamation, actually. Throw those in there. So now we have a whole bunch of Reclamations.
Here's my solution.
That's a big boy. Start your turn, empty 2 of your mana gems. Let's see if this guy gives us an answer.
Pick a spell. Any spell.
Summon the highest cost artifact in your graveyard. Draw 4 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I mean, flying and armor will help us. Drawing 4 cards would be nice too, but the armor will help us against this guy. We can at least mitigate some of his stuff, so that's good.
Inspire them.
Gets a good amount of trample through. How much is it to summon that guy? 5? Yeah, why don't you go ahead and summon him again? That's a good idea. And then we'll draft to get this guy stronger. Ooh, and that gives us Immolating Glare. I fucking love this deck. This deck is so fun to use. So now we have an answer for whenever he puts the big guy back out.
If I must.
Like, it's just a fun fucking deck. Does it win all the time? No, not at all. It doesn't win all the time. But whenever it does win, it feels really good. And like I said, I've come back from like having 2 health, 3 health while they're like over 20. Like it feels good. It feels very good whenever you're able to do that.
Try and keep up, Fergus!
So we need 3 for this. 6. We have 8. I mean, we can hurt him real bad right now. 4, 5, 6, 7, and we will have this left over. Or we can use this to make him bigger, and if we could draft haste, then this will be pretty much game over. We did not draft haste. Too bad. I'm just gonna send my flyers. And then we have that to protect us. So we should be good. Unstable Mutagens is fun. That's a fun one.
They shall feel our defiance.
That came out with Sneak because of Mutagens. Very nice.
The forest fights alongside me.
I'm surprised he attacked. Yeah, I'm really surprised he attacked. Well, that's G. He doesn't have any more energy. We'll just go ahead and put that out.
My blade protects only the worthy. Here's my solution.
Easter,
Such a fun deck.
you have bested me.
Adaptable.
It's still hitting her in the background. All right, that's so fun. I love that deck. Such a good time, fun time to use that thing. So I haven't been able to sit down and grind like I want to yet, but I'll set up a day that I'm able to do it. That way I'll get up to, I'm almost in gold. I'll get up to at least platinum before they do the next reset. I've been having fun with the game again, so that's good. You know, let's wish against wishes and hope that this game eventually gets a new update. But till then, I have a bunch of decks that I've already made. I've had a lot of fun making a bunch of weird, wacky decks that nobody else fucking made. So hopefully you enjoyed it, and hopefully I'll see you in another one of my videos. Wee!